And good evening, race fans. Welcome live from the Southern National Motorsports Park. Cyber Thunder Fall Brawl presented by BladeNode.com. First annual Cyber Thunder Fall Brawl presented by BladeNode.com. Simple web solutions powered by nerds. Need a team that's going to take care of you over there? Go ahead, get over there with my friends Sam and Vlad and the entire gang over at BladeNode. We're going to be joined alongside Sam Perry from BladeNode.com and Rich Pruitt out here live tonight in the Cyber Thunder broadcast booth. Richard, Sam, got just about 9 minutes remaining here in the practice, showing 9 cars on track right now. Currently taking a look at Nick Fleury in the number 25 car. Coming out of turn number 2, what do you guys expect for the race?
Oh, Tom, thanks for having me. My first race in the broadcast booth. I'm obviously going to be taking a look at Brett Hahn, the Blue Bullet. After last night's street stock race, he went to victory lane, and he won 6 out of 8 races in the Super Late Model Series and is in the inaugural champion. So I think he is clearly the favorite heading into tonight's race.
Certainly a possibility. We saw Brett go to victory lane last night. Sam, who's going to be your pick for the big hardware tonight?
My pick is probably going to have to be the 25 of Nick Fleury. I could be wrong.
Tanner Tallarico in that one car is someone I'm also going to have my eyes on. He was in race control during the Super Late Model Series earlier this year. But I do think Tanner's going to give Brett a run for his money. And those two kind of had one heck of a finish in the Thursday night cup race. So I'm curious to see if there's going to be any fireworks between those two in tonight's race.
Tanner Tallarico sitting down here on pit road. 7 minutes remaining left in our practice session. Setting the field for tonight's grid, we will have 250 laps of green flag racing around this 0.4 of a mile super speedway short track here from Lucama, North Carolina, just about 200 miles east of Charlotte Motor Speedway, to kind of give you an idea of where we are out here tonight. Originally opened up in 1993, 4,500 spectators in the grandstands tonight. One thing we talked about a lot last night was the amount of banking that these turns have, especially down in turn 1. Going to see a lot of these drivers making that big arc down and running that paint on the inside line there.
Absolutely. It's like a little miniature Bristol almost, only it's asphalt instead of concrete.
I was just about to say that, Richard. This short track has a high bank to it. It's got what is it, like 17 degrees of banking?
17, Sam. 17 on the corners and 7 degrees on the front and the backstretch.
Yeah, so that's still quite a bit of banking on the track. So it's going to be interesting watching how these asphalt super late models get around the track.
Yeah, it certainly will. We're also going to be seeing currently at the top of the board the 07 super late model Kyle Eli. I believe Kyle may have left the track. He may be on his way back. I'm not sure what's going on there, but second on the board right now is the 48 of Tim Rogers. Brett Hahn currently sitting third, half a tenth behind the current leader, and Andrew Payne just under a tenth, sitting in position number 4. And Nick Fleury's going to round out your top 5, rolling around it as we see Nick Fleury. Thought he was going to hit Brett there. Just a tenth off of the leader. So a lot of close times here with 5 minutes remaining in practice.
Yeah, a little on-track shenanigans between Brett Hahn and the red car.
That was Andrew Payne in the 93, and it's certainly an interesting line that Brett was running backwards against the wall. But I don't think that's going to work in tonight's race, but you never know. Brett's done some amazing stuff on short tracks.
It may not work tonight, but setting the field and the settings that we have out here tonight, no rolls of flex tape down there in the pits. So if you get it damaged, you're going to need to come down there, have them break out the sledgehammers, try to fix up those fenders, get the car in raceable condition. Again, 1 change of tires. So they got 2 tire sets down here, the set that they start with, and 1 tire change at any point throughout the race as the drivers see fit.
Yeah, I think you're going to see drivers conserving tires and not being nearly as aggressive in the race as they are in practice, considering that they do not have that fast repair, that reset tonight.
Yeah, for sure. And this is our first annual Cyber Thunder Fall Brawl presented by BladeNode.com. But Southern National Motorsports Park has their own version of this. They started this back in 1998 with the Thanksgiving Classic. Philip Morris won that race in the 200 lap late model race. Some other notable winners: Scott Riggs, Denny Hamlin, Joey Coulter, and Matt McCall, all previous Thanksgiving Classic winners here at the Southern National Motorsports Park. Going to see who can add their name to the winners column.
Really close times at the top of the charts in practice. Only a hundredth of a second separating Kyle Ely and Tim Rogers for the top. So qualifying is definitely going to be interesting to see who might get that valuable pole position.
Yeah, and one thing not to forget, Richard and Sam, is that we do have an invert on the heat races tonight. Heat races will be 10 laps, and it is at this rate going to be a full field invert. So if you start on the pole, you're not going to be starting on the pole for long, as you see Andrew Payne hard into the outside wall in 3 and 4. A lot of right front damage. You're not going to be on the pole for long because you're going to be inverted and starting from last on the grid, which will set the grid for the main feature, 250 laps around here.
We should do full field inverts for every race. They're so much fun to watch the fast guys come from the back.
We should definitely not do that. But about 2 minutes to go remaining here in practice, as we see everybody doing the final touch-ups on their car down here. Tim Rogers, Andrew Payne, Tanner Tallarico, Brett Hahn, all currently in pit road. 78 car, Rob Rogerson. Glad to see Rob out here. We always see Rob out in the Cyber Thunder Rising Stars series. Rob's going to try to come home tonight with the top 3, or maybe even take home the checkered flag. Glad to see how Rob conserves his tires and see where he winds up at the end of the night.
Yeah, great to see Bob out here tonight, repping JR Motorsports. He's the only JR Motorsports driver in the field, so hopefully he'll have a good showing for us.
Other notable cars on track, you got 26 Michael Witt. We saw last week's Cyber Thunder Rising Stars pole sitter. Led the first 25 laps or so, and then really his race just kind of fell apart through no fault of his own. Really unfortunate night over there for him, but good to see Michael Witt out here tonight running for a checkered flag. And you know, maybe that was at a short track, that was at USA, so maybe see Michael Witt sneak away with the pole out here tonight with less than 90 seconds remaining here in opening practice.
And not to mention last night's race as well. He was right there in the thick of it the entire race. He was in, I believe, 3rd place at one point. Looking at the leaders, thinking about taking that lead away from him.
Yeah, we also see Christopher Daniel out here tonight. That is not a good camera right there. We also see Christopher Daniel out here tonight in the number 119 super late model. Black and yellow, black and yellow. That's going to be the car to keep an eye on. He was really good at conserving his tires. As I say that, he Bajas it down here through 3 and 4. We got 45 seconds remaining in practice. Christopher Daniel, that's not how you're going to save tires tonight, but we'll let that one slide. You're going to get a fresh set of tires for qualifying as he pulls down here into the garage. It looks like he's going to head over to the chicken stand maybe. 30 seconds remain in practice. Let's throw this trackside for tonight's opening ceremonies.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose what stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that
right, beautiful rendition of the national anthem playing across the speakers here from Lucamas, North Carolina. First car we're going to be taking a look at on track, starting his first hot lap here is Tanner Tallarico, number 1 Pro Coat. See where he winds up on the board. Current pole sitter, Andrew Payne.
Yeah, Tanner coming off a turn 4 right there, starting the second lap, going around. Getting real low in the turns, coming off, getting off real good. Let's see where he sets a 14:30 for his second and final lap, putting him in the prospective second position.
Currently on track right now, Rob Rogerson coming out here, finishing up lap number 2. Looks like we have a 10-minute qualifying session here. So we'll have a little bit of time in between the field setting here. Rob Rogerson currently sitting 4th on the board after his first lap, just about 3/10 off the pace.
Nick Fleury currently hitting the racetrack for his first lap, so we'll see how Nick fares, considering he was a little bit late entering the practice session.
Yeah, it sounds like Nick was not aware of the times. I can't say I was either, because I sent you guys a message about 2 hours ago and said, hey, we're moving this show up an hour. Nick Fleury coming out of turn number 4, taking the white flag on his qualifying lap here. First lap's going to put him number 3 on the board.
Yeah, he's going into turn 3 for his coming up to the checker. That time puts about a 14:36, and he's in the prospective 3rd spot. I think pushing Christopher Daniels down another spot, I think.
And you want to talk about the last bullet you got to dodge. Brett the Jet currently out on track. Last night's winner in the street stock race. A little practice race that they had here. 100 laps around this 0.4 of a mile speedway. Down into turn number 3. See if Brett is able to knock off the 93 from the pole position. First lap. Put him P3 on the board.
Yeah, that pushed Nick Fleury down and pushed everyone who put a time down. He's coming off a turn 4. He's coming across the line, 14:37, and I think that will finish up qualifying, I believe.
We still have Michael Witt and Kyle Ely, who have yet to set a lap time, so could they be waiting until later in the session to see what type of laps they're going to have to contend with?
Yeah, it looks like Nick Fleury is getting just a few more critical laps of practice out here. Nick, of course, only showed up probably about 25-30 minutes ago, so he is short on practice out here tonight, but Nick knows how to wheel a super late model around here, and certainly would expect him to be in contention at the end of tonight's race.
Smart move. There's still 6 laps of qualifying, or 6 minutes of qualifying left, so that could be some valuable track time for him.
Yeah, yeah, certainly is. I'm not seeing the car haulers of the 07 of Kyle Ely and the 26 of Michael Witt in the infield.
Yeah, I believe that they had to step away. Michael Witt may be on his way back out to the track, but not sure if Kyle ran into some pre-race issues with that number 07 car that was loaded out really fast in practice, was fastest in practice, but just about 5 minutes remaining here of the 93 car dialed up here. Current pole sitter, Andrew Payne. How you doing, Andrew?
I'm doing pretty good. How's everyone doing up in the booth tonight?
Well, we're doing all right. We're watching that 93 car make a fast lap around this 0.4 of a mile short track here at Southern National Motorsports Park. Currently on the pole. Are you going to try to keep it there? Are you going to try to conserve tires, maybe fall to the back? What's your plan for tonight?
Honestly, just gotta keep it under me. These cars are really, really loose, like on the first 5 laps because the tires are cold. So, I mean, I'm lucky I got to put down that lap, but I think tonight being 250 laps is gonna be more about just like kind of survive and like conserve a little bit. and not just go out and go through and full send the tires the first like 20 or 30 laps.
Yeah, no, for sure, absolutely. Who do you got? Do you have any names circled on your radar for tonight that you may have to contend with at the end of tonight's race?
The driver of the 71, Brett Hahn. Obviously he won the Super Late Series earlier this year, so I know he's going to be some of the biggest competition tonight, probably along with Tanner Tallarico, as well as actually most of these guys we're all pretty close. So
Yeah, close times all across the board. Well, Andrew, my friend, we're gonna wish you luck out here tonight. Hopefully, we'll get to talk to you a little bit later in the race. But you know what that pole position means? Means you're starting from the back in the heat race. Does that concern you at all?
not really. I think the for the heat race, I'm just gonna try to go through and just run it, get a few laps to just try to see how the race is gonna be, and then if I don't get up to the front by the end of the heat race, it's not a big deal. 250 laps is a long race, so I'm not too worried about the heat race. But just gotta go out there and just kind of test the waters before the big show.
All right. Well, best of luck, my friend. We're gonna let you go get back up there. Just under 3 minutes of qualifying remaining. Hopefully, we get to talk to you a little bit later tonight, Andrew.
Thank you.
I got him if you want me to. All right. Oh, okay. He actually he had enough. He didn't want to get dragged around anymore, so he did it himself.
Yeah. Hey, we're working on a budget over here. I can only move Andrew so many rooms at a time, but we got him back up there in the race room. 2 minutes remaining in qualifying, Sam. Presented by BladeNode.com. What is BladeNode, Sam?
Blade Note.
I think we've lost Sam.
No, I just about died. Sorry about that. Blade Node is a web hosting company, and if you would, if you need a website or something, the or VPS or what have you, um, come on, okay, I'm not a spokesperson. Uh, I'm not a spokesperson. I'm not paid to be a spokesperson. Okay. Starting at $10 a month. If you need web hosting, you can get yourself also a free domain if you pay yearly.
Very cool. I know Vlad and the entire team over there. Cyber Thunder Racing League utilizes Blade Node services that they offer. They offer everything from email to web hosting to anything that you would need. Certainly a great group of guys and a great team over there. So get with my friends Sam and Vlad, BladeNode.com, for all your web hosting needs. They're going to take good care of you here as we have 10 seconds remaining here in the qualifying session.
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't look like Michael Witt is going to make the field, as the time is now expired, and it looks like that will be the field for tonight's race.
Which means Michael Witt and Kyle Ely will not be on the front row. Instead, it will be the 48 of Tim Rogers and the 78 of Robert Rogerson on the front row.
Row number 2 behind them. Christopher Daniel saw big time tire strategy out of him last night. Tonight, making his first appearance out at the Southern National Motorsports Park Speedway, Nick Fleury on the outside of row number 2.
Rounding out the field, we'll have the 71 of Brett Hahn, the number 1 Pro Code Quick Time car of Tanner Tallarico, and the fastest person in qualifying, the 93 of Andrew Payne.
Andrew Payne in that Quick Time Motorsports Media V&H Fresh Chevy Camaro down there. It's going to be a hard car to miss out here tonight. Bright red coming right at you out of turn number 4.
Yeah, as the lights on the pace truck go off, next time by we will be going green as Tim Rogers leads the field right behind that pace truck. And coming into turn 3, they're lined up, they're ready to go. Pace truck is off, and the green flag is out. Tim Rogers leads us off into turn 1.
Oh, looks like Tim Rogers is going to get big time loose coming out of turn number 2, and that's going to give the lead to the 78 of Bob Rogerson. But here comes that 119 of Christopher Daniels to the inside.
Put the 119 on the inside, running that white paint along turns number 1 and 2. Big battle down here. I heard these drivers talking about it in the pre-race. I don't know if they really have much of a top lane that they'll be able to work in here, but 250 laps, that's a long time that they'll be able to maybe try to make that top side come in, as we see Tim Rogers now battling Brett Hahn for the number 4 position. A little bit of contact there. Everybody carries on with their race. Tim Rogers muscles his way through around the 71.
And the first thing that pops to my mind is, which lane do you want to restart in tonight's race? Do you want to be up high, or do you to have that momentum coming out of the turns, or would you rather be on the inside to have that advantage on quarter entry?
Well, you know, all these starts are going to be on iRacing green tonight, so the leader's not going to have control of the restart. And just by that alone, I think you're going to want to have to start on the bottom. But as we're sitting back here watching that battle between the 71, 93, and the 48, Christopher Daniel has pulled about a 5-10 car length lead over Rob Rogerson.
Yeah, he was really good in practice. Ran exactly 119 laps in practice, which is his car number. So hopefully he learned something putting in over 100 laps in practice.
Short little heat race here. 3 laps to go at the line this time as we see Andrew Payne battling Nick Fleury. Andrew Payne, the pole sitter for tonight's race, by virtue of the invert, started dead last on the field. He's going to stick that 93 Quick Time Motorsports Media car down there underneath the 25 and come off of turn number 4. Looking at 2 to go in heat number 1.
Andrew Payne coming through the field quickly, but I think he's going to run out of time as we're heading into turns 3 and 4, getting ready to see that white flag for the heat race.
Yeah, all eyes up front. The 119 Christopher Daniel coming down here, seeing the white silk on the speedway coming down here. Going to see Christopher Daniel 2 more corners to come away with the first checkered flag of the night.
Out of turn 4, Christopher Daniel is going to win the heat race for tonight's lineup.
Certainly nice job by Christopher Daniel. We saw he was really strong during the end of last night's race, so let's see if he can't find his way up towards the front as we now have another 10 minutes here. We're going to be joined by Tanner Tallarico here in a few minutes. Tanner's going to be making some looks like Tanner is knocking on the door. Let's see if
suddenly it's dark outside.
Let's see if we can't get Tanner Tallarico in here. Tanner Tallarico, good to see you out here tonight. How are you?
Hey boys, we're doing all right. Got through that wild little heat race we just had right there, but having a good time. Kind of laid back night with the guys that are in here. We're all having a ball in that heat, and looking forward to the feature here in a little bit.
Yeah, we saw that short little feature. Run us through that feature as I try to get our cameras reset over here. Any names, and I asked Andrew this before, are there any names in particular that you got circled on your radar that you might have to contend with for the victory out here tonight?
Oh, I'll be completely honest with you. I thought for sure that we were going to have to contend with Brett and Nick and Andrew. Those guys are usually really, really good on these short, and Tim as well are usually really, really good on these short tracks. But obviously Chris and Robert, they're not messing around tonight either. So obviously the car count's a little bit lower than we wanted. We're hoping to get at least into the double digits, but nonetheless, I'm a firm believer in the ideology that you don't have to have a lot of cars to put on a good show, and I think tonight's going to be very indicative of that, especially going by how that heat race just went, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw a little bit of contact between the 48 and the 71. I think we're going to see a lot of that throughout the course of the race here tonight, Tanner. These cars, they're very forgiving. You can really lean on each other. You think we'll see any of that towards the end of the main feature here tonight?
I think you probably will towards the end. With the amount of cars that we have in here and how long this race is, I think going by what everybody was saying in the pre-race, I think everybody's probably just going to take it kind of easy and give everybody plenty of room. We don't want to tear up any race cars with only as many in here that we have. But definitely, I think once we get down to the latter portions of this race, maybe 50, 60 to go, you'll probably start seeing some guys leaning on each other, maybe using that bumper. I know I will once we get inside 50 laps to go, so we'll try to put on a show for you for sure.
All right, well, you heard it from the man himself. Tanner Tallarico probably going to be a factor in the finish of tonight's race. We take a look at Brett Hahn. Brett Hahn winning 6 of the 8 races in the Summer Super Late Model Series that we ran over the past couple of months. Tanner, do we have you have anything about the Super Series?
Well, we actually do. I was hoping that
Whoa,
we'd have a little...
I am surprised.
Yeah, I'd hope that we'd have a couple more people in the session tonight to kind of share this with, but on behalf of myself and Tom and Crank and everybody at Cyber Thunder Racing, I'm happy to announce that we're going to be bringing back our Cyber Thunder Super Late Model Tour in January. So very excited for that. The whole goal right now is to kind of transition seasons on Wednesday nights between the Super Late Models and the current K&N Rising Star Series, which has obviously been one of our most popular series since its inception. But yeah, definitely excited for it. As of right now, we're kind of shooting for a 12 to 13 race season. Not 100% sure how that's exactly going to shake out. We'll obviously know more in the coming weeks and going forward, but happy to announce that it'll be coming back. I know there's a lot of short track fans in the league that have been looking for something to run that's maybe a little more up their alley, or I know there's some people that are just not part of Cyber Thunder but might be a part of iRacing that are looking for a good short track series to run, and I think that the Super Late Model Tour is going to be just that place to put all that action on.
Absolutely, and that's going to be really kind of a home style racing experience. We're going to be going around the country to all these short half mile or less, really. I don't think is there anything 3/4 mile or a mile on that initial schedule?
I think there may be 1 or 2. I don't really want to give exactly which tracks those will be quite yet, just because the schedule's not 100% finalized. But as of right now, I think we may go to one track we won't ever go to anything that's bigger than a mile, but there may be something on there that is a mile, just to keep the schedule a little bit dynamic and we're not exactly in the exact same thing every single week. But yeah, we'll definitely be able to release the schedule here, hopefully in the coming week or 2, and get that out to the public and have a lot more information that goes along with it here soon.
I have just one request, Tanner.
What's that?
Can we run one race at Talladega so I have a chance to win one of these super late model races?
You don't need to go to Talladega to have a chance at winning these super races, man. You're not half bad on these short tracks we go to, Tom. You're a wheelman on these things, so I think you'd be just fine with what we got.
All right, Tanner. Well, hopefully we get to catch up with you here in a little bit, maybe another 90 minutes or so, with at the conclusion of 250 laps around this 0.4 of a mile speedway. Tanner, go get him tonight. We're going to be keeping an eye on that Pro Coat one car. Any sponsors or friends or families or co-workers, as you say, I like to say, out here you want to thank before I let you run?
Yeah, absolutely. As you just said, I do want to say thanks to Pro Coat. This is completely new to them. They're used to coming on board and partnering with me in the Pro Cup series that we run on Thursday nights. This is all completely new to them. This short track series, I don't know if they're watching live or not right now, but I do know that they plan on watching this race at some point over the weekend. So hi guys, thanks for coming on board. We're going to try to put on a show for you. I know we got limited cars, but I was telling these guys there's no money or anything like that on the line tonight. We didn't hit that quota, but there's definitely bragging rights. And as I said, if we could hold virtual fights or anything like that on the front straightaway to kind of amp up the energy of this race, I'm all for it. Let them fight.
Let them fight. We're gonna see who walks away with the one-armed angel trophy at the end of tonight's race.
That's right.
As we get Tanner moved out of here and ready to start his race out here tonight.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Tanner. Currently keeping an eye out on Nick Fleury down here, so in the coming months, we'll be seeing this Cyber Thunder Super Late Model Series on a weekly basis beginning in January. Well, guys, just saw 10 laps of racing around here during that first heat race. Any initial thoughts? Anybody stand out to you guys throughout that first heat race?
93 of Andrew Payne. He set the fastest lap in qualifying and started shotgun on the field, and he worked his way all the way up to third place. I thought if he had another 2 or 3 laps, he would have got the win in that. He looked super, super fast. I think the question is, can he conserve his tires, and how will he fare up against Brett Hahn and Tanner Tallarico towards the end of the race?
I'm looking at the 119 of Christopher Daniel, who will be starting pole for our feature after his heat race win.
All right. iRacing.com official pace truck has made its way out to the front stretch at the start-finish line here at Southern National Motorsports Park. We're going to go ahead and get your starting grid for tonight's feature. Christopher Daniel starting on the inside row number 1. Rob Rogerson. Where did Rob Rogerson come from? Good to see Rob up there starting on the outside of row number 1.
In row 2, we have Andrew Payne, the fastest car in qualifying. Beside of him, Brett Hahn, the champ.
On the inside of row 3, you got Nick Fleury and Tanner Tallarico.
And rounding out row number 5. Starting dead last on the field tonight, my buddy, Tim Rogers. Tim's going to be up there before the night's over as well. Really don't think you can count anybody out. A couple of short track favorites in here, but taking a look at this field, this is really going to be anybody's race at the end of 250 laps around this short little beast.
Yeah, it looks like it as the pace truck makes its way off of pit road, and the green flag is out, and Christopher Daniels leads them off.
Put the green
across. Good.
Green flag out at the CyberThunderBladeNode.com fall brawl. Out of turn number 1, Christopher Daniel with the lead 3 wide down here into turn number 3 between the 93-71. Looks like Rob Rogerson says this is 250 miles, 250 laps. I'm gonna let you guys go, and I'm gonna save my stuff back here. Is now at Andrew Payne already taking a look for the lead, and gonna be big junk on the back.
Oh, we got trouble already. Definitely not what these guys wanted to see this early in the race. That's half of our field. We got the 119 of Christopher Daniel involved. I think Bob Rogerson in the 78 went around as well.
The only Brett Hahn made it through that, so that puts him up front.
Brett Hahn and the 48 of Tim Rogers look like the only two that came out of that with no damage whatsoever, which is probably not what the rest of the field wanted to see. Brett Hahn out front this early.
Yellow lights on the speedway around the Southern National Motorsports Park. We're going to see if we can't get a Cyber Thunder instant replay of what just happened as I tried to get everything settled up over here. Andrew Payne on the inside coming out of out of turn number 2. Looks like the 119 may have gotten a little bit loose in front of the 93, might have come down just a tiny bit, but either way you slice it, really unfortunate start to both of these guys' races.
Yeah, the 119 has already lost a lap. Looked like heavy damage for the 25 of Nick Fleury. He got the inside wall pretty good. He almost had that wreck cleared.
Yeah, Nick Fleury down on pit road right now. Already using his 1 tire change for the race. Actually, I think he only got outside tires changed. Yeah. I think, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah, these teams do have 1 tire change that they'll be able to use as they see fit out here tonight. So we will have to see when they elect to use that. Looks like the lights are already off around the speedway. Brett Hahn, Tim Rogers, he started dead last on the field. Green flag is back out. Put the 48 on the front row with a good start. We're going to see if the 48 can't clear Brett Hahn. down here on lap number 7.
Yeah, that momentum coming out of the turn, I think, is very valuable. I do think starting in that outside lane could benefit if we have a late race restart, just because the momentum you get coming out of the turn, you have so much more speed than that guy trapped on the inside line.
Yeah, as Brett looking to the inside of the 48, looks like he's gonna. Nope, it's still the 48 at the line, just by a nose.
Quite a bit of damage to that 93 quick time Chevy of Andrew Payne, but it's not slowing him down any. He's right in the middle of it with Brent Hahn and Tip Rogers for the lead. 3-car battle.
Really impressed with the way Tim's able to hold this top line and continue to hold off the 71, as now he has a mirror full of his DLI teammate Andrew Payne in his rearview mirror. See if Andrew can't go up there and try to push Tim around as he washes up probably a little bit higher than he wants to. That's going to give Brett Hahn the lead as we're too wide heading down here into turn number 3.
And don't look now, but Tanner Tallarico in that 1 car is starting to sneak into the picture. Great racing for 12 laps into this race with only 7 or 8 cars in the field.
Yeah, going on board with the number 93 of Andrew Payne down here on the nose cam. We're taking a look at Brett the Jet, currently leading by about a quarter of a car length. Andrew Payne with the nose down there. See if he can't keep the nose down there coming out of turn number 2. Not able to do it this time. Certainly putting the heat on the number 71 car, though.
Absolutely, and just that quick, the 48 of Tim Rogers up battling Brett Hahn for the lead. He has already dropped all the way to the bottom of the field, so it works on a restart, but you can't spend too many laps in that outside lane or you're going to lose all your track position.
Yeah, and another thing Rich and Sam that he may be thinking about is just saving these tires. We still have 235 laps to go. These laps are going to click by in a hurry, but, you know, ultimately, I think these guys would like to make it to at least the lap 125 or 150 before they even think about changing that first set of tires. They're only set of tires.
Absolutely. I wouldn't even consider changing tires until we're at least halfway, considering how valuable tires are on these super late models.
Great battle for the lead happening up front here. Andrew Payne once again with just barely a quarter nose inside the 71. As it looks like now Brett's going to take the second lane around the speedway. That's going to open up the door for the 93, but don't look now. That sneaky number 1 car, as Michael Witt called him last night, is now giving the 93 a run for his money.
Yeah, and I spoke with Brett Hahn after last night's street stock race, and he said he did enjoy leading the race, but he said the 93 Andrew Payne did put a lot of, and Chris Walden, the 32 as well, put a lot of pressure on him for that lead, and he was using up his tires a little more than he wanted to. So I'm curious to see in a 250-lap race if Brett will concede the lead to Andrew, or if he'll try to stay out front and get that clean air on the nose.
Once again, another battle going on down here, side by side for the lead out of turn number 4. 93 still down there coming through the start-finish line. He might have a better position coming out of turn number 2 this time.
Onto the backstretch, they're still side by side for the lead, and it looks like Andrew's going to slide up just a little to try to force Brett out of the groove, but Brett's making that momentum on the outside line work, and Andrew Payne is almost going to clear. He's got him. Andrew Payne, now your new leader, 93 car.
Put the 93 car to the point, 22 laps into this feature. Taking a kind of giving you a recap of what's going on here. Nick Fleury, originally involved in that early incident, currently made his way back up to the 4th position, running just about a second off the lead pack. Rob Rogerson and Christopher Daniel, both 1 and 2 laps down. So a tough start to their night, but they have a lot of laps around here to go ahead and try to make their way back onto the lead lap and fight for a win.
Yeah, absolutely. If the caution were to come out now, the 119 of Christopher Daniel would be in that lucky dog position. Bob Rogerson actually finds himself 2 laps down, and there's quite a bit of damage on that 78 car. It looks like to be a bit off the pace, so I'll be curious to see how his night goes. It could be a long night for Rogerson.
Maybe a long night for Bob in the works, but Nick Fleury certainly putting the heat on as he now moves up into P number 2 as Tanner Tallarico finds his way on the outside of the speedway. and he is now shuffled around to the tail end of the lead pack, side by side for position number 2, coming through turn 1 and 2 between the 25 and 71.
Yeah, I noticed the one of Tallarico is now the last car on the lead lap, and it looks like Brett is starting to loosen track position as well. I think they're starting to get in that mindset. I need to conserve some tires right now. Only 28 laps into the race. It's not the time to be pushing these tires.
Yeah, I don't know, Richard. So I didn't win any of these super late models over the summer that we saw, but we know Brett, we know Nick, we know Tim. All these guys are really good at saving their tires, so let's see. I mean, Tanner's probably back there, just keeping the leaders within eyesight, making sure he doesn't go a lap down, and no sense in pushing it here really right now.
Absolutely, and I think Kyle Jett and was it Nick Flory were the other two winners, the two races that Brett did not win. So Nick is in this field. Kyle is not.
I believe you're right, Kyle Jetty. Last season, Cyber Thunder Rising Stars champion. So as champion over here underneath the Cyber Thunder banner, as we currently work lap number 31, see Brett Hahn continuing to work that top side. Really strong run out here. We haven't said his name too much tonight just yet, but Christopher Daniel riding in that 5th position, right up there in the thick of things, even though he's a lap down. Good on him. You know, that's going to show him that he has the speed in that car still to contend with the leaders.
You know, Tom, he might be thinking, I'm going to drive up here and get my lap back the old-fashioned way and pass the leaders and be on the tail end of the lead lap.
That's definitely a possibility, and that would certainly help out Rob, who is currently 2 laps down. That would put him in the free pass position, so we'll have to see if that's the case down here. But Nick Fleury and Brett Hahn, you're watching the best battle on the speedway right now. Brett really giving it a lot of wheel on the top side of the shelf, trying to come down here and defend position number 2.
Absolutely, and something we talked about in the pre-race is how durable these super late models are, because, I mean, if you look at our top 2 now, the 93 of Andrew Payne and the 25 of Nick Flory, they both got quite a bit of damage to their nose, but it's not slowing them down at all as they've got the top 2 positions.
Sam, so if you're Brett Hahn right now, right, obviously Brett knows what he's doing, but if you're Brett Hahn, are you fighting Nick for that position, or are you just going to let him go and try to save your Hoosiers?
I would just let Nick go and save the Hoosiers. I mean, it's still early in the race. You got about 220 laps remaining of the race. There's no sense in pushing it hard early as this.
Yeah, clean and green racing now for the past 37 laps, as it looks now maybe Brett heard Sam's advice and looks like he might be conceding that 2nd position to the number 25 car. But you know what? So Sam and Rich, let me just ask you guys as we see the continued battle between the 71 and the 25. I know that a lot of times you build up friendly rivalries, you know, especially when you race with the same people week in and week out. Is there anybody out on track that you have that rivalry with that you push a little bit harder around because you know you just want to beat that one person?
Absolutely. As we saw in Sonoma, I was not too happy with somebody who'd blocked me at Daytona and Kentucky, and I did not let him pass, even though I was much, much slower at Sonoma. So you definitely see that. Drivers have a very, very long memory.
Is that a friendly rivalry?
I would not consider that one friendly, but
I would have to say there might be a friendly rivalry between the 71 of Brett Hahn and the number 1 of Tanner Tallarico. I'm pretty sure Brett and Tallarico, they're going to be smart about it. They're not gonna get into it early in the race, but later in the race, if they end up one in front of the other, someone is going to have I can almost personally guarantee one of those two might have a bad day come the end of the race.
We've seen them come together quite a few times over the course of the years, most notably at the BladeNode.com Pro Cup Series, which was broadcasted on the Turn 3 Racing Network live from Charlotte Motor Speedway this past Thursday. If you have not check that out, certainly go over there and subscribe to them, as now we see a battle for position number 2 again. Put Brett Hahn back up to second position. Nick Fleury not going to be given up just quite yet, as he's under fire from the 48 of Tim Rogers.
Absolutely, and even after that great finish between Brett and Tanner Tallarico, maybe even a few fireworks between them, still got Tallarico designs on that 71 car. So almost, I wouldn't say teammates, maybe like a satellite team or a corporate teammates here, but I definitely think these two are going to race each other really hard if it comes down for the win between the two of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, a guy not out here tonight, but I've raced with them for a long time. Big slide by the 48 coming out of turn number 2. Friendly rivalries, I would probably have to say Jay Morris, raced with that guy now for the past 15 years or so, and always, you know, giving him a little bit of extra room on the track. But if we're coming down to the checkered flag, I might give him the bumper, you know. Just like I did at Watkins Glen that one year for him. I know he'll remember that if Jay comes back and watches this. As we're watching that, Tim Rogers has moved up to the 3rd position.
Yeah, absolutely. They talked about the sneaky number 1 car. How about the sneaky number 48 car? He was the last place the last time I saw him, and now all of a sudden he's 3rd. He might have something for these leaders coming up here in the next few laps.
Yeah, and the first clean car in line is going to be the 48. As now coming into camera view is going to be the 78 of Rob Rogerson. Rob's going to really have to be careful here not to go a 3rd lap down. It's tough enough to get 1 lap back, let alone 2. I don't know if he can get 3 back if he does go 3 down here.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for him. It looks like we're going to have a long run type of a race here tonight. It's going to be tough for him to get back on the lead lap. And his car seems to be a little bit off pace after that accident. I think he's got quite a bit of damage to that number 78 machine.
Yeah, unfortunate night to the start for Bob, and we saw really kind of just getting involved at really no fault of his own, but tough start to the race for him. But we're watching a battle now down here for the lead between the 25 and the 93. Let's see where the 48 decides to go. He may be the deciding factor here.
Absolutely, and it has a long green flag run to it right now, but that doesn't mean it's going to stay that way as we get down towards the end of the race. So I would encourage Bob to stay on the track and try to turn as many laps as he can. If we get a rash of cautions at the end of the race, he could find himself right back in the thick of it, especially if some guys take themselves out.
Yeah, and we're riding on board here with the number 48, Tim Rogers, taking a look out of his cockpit. One thing that I think is often overlooked is the visibility in these cars. As you can see, they only have what appears to be like 3 inches of visibility at the cockpit windshield. So really tough for them to see what's happening in front of them. That may have been what happened with Bob. Just really not a great view out of these cars, the short track cars here, as we see him trying to battle the 25 for position.
Yeah, that was one thing I struggled with when I ran the super late models over the summer, was the visibility. And I had to change the driver height inside the car every race, and still it's really, really difficult to see out of these cars. That's a great point you bring up there, Tom.
Yeah. Andrew Payne now working his way underneath Bob Rogerson, who's going to be now 3 laps down on the speedway. Bob's going to stay up on the top shelf of the speedway, let all these leaders go, class act by the number 78, let everybody go. But as you were saying before, a lot of damage to that right front of the number 78 car. Gonna be a long night for him, but hopefully we can get him back up on the lead lap at some point throughout tonight's race, as we see sparks flying on the backstretch.
Yeah, and a few laps ago, the 119 car did get in the wall pretty hard, and it seems like he's dropped off the pace quite a bit, as he's about 4 or 5 seconds behind the now 3 lap down car of Bob Rogerson. Oh, and Tim Rogers going to get major loose coming out of turn number 4. Maybe a little bit of help from behind. He's really going to stack the field up here.
Take a quick cyberthunder.com instant replay out of turn number 4. Looks like he may have had to get out of the gas just a tiny bit. A little bit of contact between him and the 71 coming out of turn number 4. But everybody with the good hands award down there. Everybody continues on lap number 64.
Pretty good side-by-side battle for 4th between the 2 friendly rivals, the 71 of Brett Hahn and the 1 of Tanner Tallarico. I'm interested to see how hard these 2 push each other just 65 laps into the race.
Side by side out of turn number 4. The Pro Code and Tallarico sign and design. We're going to see who's able to prevail here as we work lap number 66 on the south end of the speedway, come through 1 and 2. Brett Hahn by half a car length heading down into turn number 3.
It looks like Brett Hahn will indeed clear him for that 4th position, and it looks like Tim Rogers is now going to move up into 2nd past the 93 of Andrew Payne.
Yeah, Tim was really strong throughout the course of the Super Series that we ran over the summer, which will be returning in the month of January. Didn't always have the finishes to show for it, but certainly a strong competitor in these super late models is Tim Rogers in the number 48 car.
I'm going to make a bold prediction heading into the Super Late Model Series for next year. I say Tim Rogers will get by Brett Hahn to win a race for the next season of Super Late Models. Tim Rogers gets his first career Super Late Model win with the Cyber Thunder Group.
Certainly a viable prediction, as Tim Rogers was last season's Thursday Night Thunder, what was then the Bolt Cup Championship and the Cup cars before we switched over to the BladeNode.com Pro Cup Series. BladeNode.com Fall Brawl presented by BladeNode.com out here tonight. 250 laps around this short track here. Nick Fleury continues to lead over Tim Rogers, Brett Hahn, Tanner Tallarico, and Andrew Payne. Looked like maybe Andrew Payne might have grabbed the wall out of turn number 2 last time by, as we saw a bobble out of there. Adding fuel to that fire, tonight's pole sitter, or initial pole sitter, before he had to start in the back for that heat race, not having the opening start to the races. He's now running in the number 5 position.
Yeah, pretty good little battle between the lap cars, even though it's not for position. Looked like the 119 of Christopher Daniels did get by Bob Rogerson for a second there, side by side for about half a lap there.
Yeah, Bob continuing to wheel this number 78 JR Motorsports Chevy Camaro around the short track of Southern National Motorsports Park here. Hoping to see Bob rebound from the tough starts of the race that he's had and maybe come back up and battle for position at the end. Actually, no, that's not a Chevy. That's a, what is that? Is that a Charger? What does your team run over here?
I'm not sure what that car is. We don't have any manufacturer requirements at JR Motorsports, so you're free to run whatever you want to at JRM.
Well, if you ask Chris Wold, it'd be a Toyota Supra. As speaking of Toyota Supras, Nick Fleury has checked out on the field. Nick Fleury always running the Toyotas in the other series that we run. Loves that Supra. So we see a battle for position number 2 now between the 71-1 and the 48.
Looking at the rear chase camera of Bob Rogerson, that is the 78 Budweiser Black Crown Dodge Charger.
There we go. Saw it dodged across the windshield banner.
Looks like Nick Fleury stretching his lead out here a little bit over Brett Hahn in the 71 car, almost up to a second lead now.
Yeah, taking a closer look on the number 25 cars, he heads down here into turn number 3 and 4. Next time by 1 and 2. We're able to really see those brake rotors glowing on that number 25 car. Got to wonder if brakes will become an issue for Nick and the rest of these competitors before the end of the night.
Yeah, they were glowing red in practice, and that's something we saw in last night's race as well, the street stock race. And I don't think it really became much of an issue. Of course, that race was much shorter than this one, almost not even half the distance that we're going tonight.
Sam, why are you not out here running?
Because I can't drive. I can't drive worth a crap with y'all guys. Y'all too fast. Y'all would blow me out of the water.
Maybe some of these guys would, but certainly not me. I'd be back there running probably 6th or 7th, or if we were on the grid, 8th or 9th, we'd be battling for position, Sam.
Yeah, possibly. We maybe, but I'd still drive it in hard, tear up my tires just a little bit, and you'd drive away from me, no questions asked.
If you're in front of me for too long, I just put that little chrome horn to the back bumper of the number 91 super late model.
91 super late model. I need to get me one of those. I have not got a paint out for that yet. I got to get with my guy about it.
Well, if anybody needs a paint, certainly check out, as we take a look at Brett here, Tallarico sign and design on the hood of that number 71, Brett the Jet Tallarico sign and design. Awesome work by Tanner, and he's got a couple more adventures going on that he's kind of working on right now, and certainly will be supporting those once those are ready to go.
Yeah, I have a brand new paint scheme on the K&N car on Wednesday nights, and it's designed by Tanner. Beautiful, beautiful blue, black, and red race car I got now.
Does it make you any faster? Because it hasn't made me any faster.
Well, it did make me faster. I was well on my way to the top 10, and I kind of shot myself in the foot and spun out. So my not so great finish this past Wednesday night was all on me and not the paint scheme.
Well, certainly if anybody is looking for any sort of painting work, get with Tallarico Sign and Design. Find him on Facebook, find him on Trading Paints, find him wherever you want to find him. Send him a message. He'll get you good. He'll get you looking good. Can't promise he's going to make you go any faster, but he'll certainly make you look good.
Well, that's not necessarily true there, Tom, because Tanner promised me if I run one of his paint schemes, it's worth at least a 10th on the racetrack, coming straight from Tanner Tallarico.
Oh, is that true?
That's what I was told.
I didn't get that special when I paid Tanner. So I don't know if you paid a little bit of extra. I only sent him, that Taco Bell gift card for mine, but maybe you had to pay a little bit more to get that slick coat on it.
Well, I sent him an Outback Steakhouse gift card, so that might have a little something to do with it.
There you go. Tallarico Sign and Design on the car, number 71, Brett the Jet Han, as he now is reeled in the number 25. See a battle now down here for the third position between the 48 and the 1. Looks like Tanner's going to roll over and give it to Tim Rogers going down to turn number 3, as we're almost 100 laps in here.
Yeah, and it looks like they're getting ready to put another lap on Bob Rogerson, and boy, he was way out of shape the previous lap. I was watching him closely to see, make sure he gives the leaders plenty of room here as they're going to put another lap on him.
Yeah, Bob once again getting high, wide, and Hansen, giving plenty of room. A little bit of contact between him and the wall, almost collecting the number 1 on his way through.
And a point I want to bring up is we're still close to about 50 laps away. I was told by race control that we would be getting a halfway caution, which should be coming up in about actually 25 laps, not 50 laps. So we're about 25 laps away from the halfway caution.
You heard it here first, folks. News to me. Halfway caution, lap number 125. Think you'll see a lot of these guys come down here on pit road and change out those Hoosiers. But got to remember, Nick has already changed the right side tires of those cars. So what he's got is what he's got. He's not able to come down here and change the tires again. He can change the left sides, but I don't know if he wants to do that.
Yeah, that's I did that, made that mistake, and I believe it was the Cup race a few weeks ago, and changing left side tires only is not fun to drive.
Yeah, as I now scroll through the YouTube live chat box, I'm seeing information out here from Michael Witt. Michael Witt joined us out here in practice. Michael Witt, usually driving the Blademobile number 26 car, says his power went out. So certainly if Michael's out there, unfortunately not able to join us out here tonight, but Michael, always a strong competitor at the Cyber Thunder Racing League. He was out here in practice and was 3rd or 4th on the board at the end of the opening practice.
Yeah, that's really, really unfortunate. I hate to hear that from Michael. He had a pretty good run in last night's street stock race, so I was looking forward to seeing what he could do with some of the guys like Tanner and Brett. I think he'd be right in the mix of it, so that's really unfortunate to hear that he's not going to be a part of tonight's race.
Yeah, absolutely, Rich and Sam. And you know what, though, Rich and Sam, I tell you what, we're 103 laps in, and these guys are still a 10th or a 2/10 behind each other. These guys are really staying tucked up to each other. Nobody's really able to pull away as Nick gets a little bit of contact with the outside wall out of turn number 2.
Yeah, and he's loose now. Brett Hahn's going to be right on his bumper, maybe even looking to the outside here coming into turn number 1. But, yeah, I think they might be testing what their tires can do, so that way they know how conservative they have to be once they get the new set of tires on around the halfway break for the end of the race.
Yeah, and if these guys get to battle, and that's going to open up the door for the 48, Tim Rogers, with as close as he's running Tim the Wheelman. Oh, man, I love Tim.
Big time loose and into the wall for the 48 car.
Yeah, Tim always down there, always giving it hell, but where is the 93 car gone?
The 93 has dropped off a bit. I still have him on the lead lap in the 5th position.
Yeah, Andrew Payne currently 7 seconds behind the lead pack. Looks like his tires are gone. We're going to go on board here real quick with the 93 and watch his corner exits and really just hear him working that throttle down there, on the gas, off the gas, on the gas, off the gas, trying to keep those rear tires under him. Sounds like he has his hands full currently at the moment.
And also, Tom, I was looking at his right front. It looks like he's got quite a bit of damage there that I didn't see before, so maybe he got into the wall at some point and we didn't catch it, because there is significant damage to that right front tire, and man, he is all over the place. Those tires are absolutely shot.
Yeah, they certainly are. As now we have another battle brewing for the lead up front. Brett Hahn and Nick Fleury once again going at it down here into turn number 1 and 2 on the south end of the speedway. Brett the Jet trying to get around Nick Fleury before we get that halfway yellow.
Looks like Tanner Tallarico is underneath Tim Rogers for that 3rd position, and he has it.
Give it to the number 1 car down here in 1 and 2. Over the 48 and Christopher Daniel. Big time lick for
Daniel's in the wall again.
Yeah, big time hit for him coming out of turn 2. Really unfortunate for him, but he'll come down here in the next 10 laps or so, get fresh set of Hoosiers, and see if he can't get back up in contention. He was certainly strong last night's race. He probably played the long game on the tires really, really well and was there at the end, so we'll have to see if he's able to do the same here tonight.
When we ran the Super Late Model Series earlier this year, and now we see a battle for the lead. Brett Hahn underneath and Nick Fleury. And now Tanner Tallarico is going to try to join this battle, and he's even bringing the 48 of Tim Rogers with him. Still 115 laps into this race, and we still got a 4-car battle for the lead.
Extremely tight off of turn number 2. We're watching the 71 go down here. Looks like Brett's really beating him on the center and the exits, and I know that's what Brett always says, back up those corners, get that big run off. Really nowhere for the 71 to go unless he decides to use the chrome horn, and you know, I mean, it's Nick. I would use the bumper on Nick. I'm kidding, Nick.
I would too.
But, you know, really nowhere for him to go unless he does decide to use that chrome horn on the number 25. But certainly appears that the 71 is faster, but the fastest car between these 3 might be the number 1 car at this time.
And Brett might not want the lead. He might want 2nd place. We did not have lane choice in the Super Late Model Series earlier this year, so he might want to give that outside line a shot on the restart coming up here. And we've only had 1 caution up to this point, so that might pay off for track position for him to be on that outside lane.
Yeah, riding on board, taking a look out of the top rear of the number 25 car. You just got a mirror full of the number 71 car down here, filling up your entire screen over here coming down. Nick Fleury in the wall coming out turn number 4. That's going to open up the door for the 71. Not able to get there just yet. Good drive off by the 25.
I know these drivers are looking forward to that halftime break to get that set of tires on there. Almost all of them are getting squirrely coming out of the turns. You can tell that the tire wear is really, really starting to set in. Oh, and we got Bob Rogers in the wall, and he bounced into Brett Hahn. It doesn't look like much damage on the 71 machine, but close call there for the leaders dealing with the lap car of Rogerson.
Yeah, close calls. Field continues to work lap number 122 on the feature out here tonight. Andrew Payne continues to stay on the lead lap. Not by much, only by about 4 seconds or so. But certainly I believe he will be staying on the lead lap. As now we have, once again, a battle between Tim Rogers, Tanner Tallarico coming out of turn number 2. It's like these battles keep flip-flopping as to which battle is the one to keep an eye on.
Yeah, you know, Andrew's counting down those laps so when the caution comes out. He's desperately wanting to get those new tires on there and maybe even run a little bit more conservative on this next run, considering how much his tires have fallen off compared to the other 4 leaders.
Out of turn number 4, Brett Hahn with a big old bump to the number 25. Should be seeing the iRacing.com yellow flag come out any second now as side by side off of turn number 2. Oh, a little bit short for the 71 as Nick Fleury is going to be the leader at the competition caution. Sam, that was a lot.
Yeah, that certainly was a lot. And Nick Fleury has 60 laps led at this current time with 125 to go.
I'm going to be paying attention to Nick's pit stop here to see if he indeed does get right side tires. Unsure whether or not he did take right side tires on that first pit stop or not, but we're getting ready to find out right here. And it does look like right side tires are going on that 25 machine. So fresh set of tires for the 25 of Nick Fleury.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like Tanner's coming down the pit road. Tanner Tallarico is now leading the race.
Well, just past halfway here in the Cyber Thunder Fall Ball presented by BladeNode.com. We're going to step away for 45 seconds. We're going to go ahead and do some business.
Representatives are currently busy. Please stay on the line, and your call will be answered by the next available representative. The estimated hold time is currently less than 96 minutes. You are currently caller number 32.
Are you tired of getting blown out of the water by other web hosting solutions? At BladeNode.com, our affordable web hosting and quick customer support is our #1 priority. BladeNode Web Hosting was started with a mission to provide premium hosting at half the price as other hosts without sacrificing features, reliability, and 24/7 customer support with a live technician. Join our community today by visiting BladeNode.com and using promo code BLADE10 for 10% off your first package.
All right, and we're back live at the Southern National Motorsports Park as you take a look at the BladeNode.com commercial that Tim Rogers and Tanner Tallarico and the entire gang over at Cyber Thunder put together. Sam, what code can they use for 10% off for their first package?
BLADE10 for 10% off.
BLADE10 as the lights are back on the iRacing.com official pace truck.
Not sure what's going on. But Nick Fleury is back in the lead. And
The caution laps here are so short, it looked like the 25 of Nick Fleury came down pit road and changed right side tires only, and then came back around for a second pit stop where he took the left side. So maybe that was a really, really smart move by Nick not to lose a lap under this caution.
Yeah, and it appears that maybe the 78 car of Bob Rogerson may have retired from this race. We'll send Sam up to the race booth and see if Sam is able to grab the driver of the number 78 car here in a second. I'm not sure if he's still at the track or if he's already found his way out of the speedway.
78 of Bob Rogerson, now he's on.
All right, well, tough night for Bob. Started out really tough for him, but it looks like the entire field's back on the lead lap here. See a couple of wave arounds going around the iRacing.com pace truck. We always say Nick's driving the pace truck. Who's driving the pace truck tonight?
I think if I had to guess, I would have to say probably I think Vlad might be driving the pace truck.
All right, well, Vlad put on that left-hand blinker. Coming down pit road, big start by the number 25. Tanner Tallarico, single car on the outside lane here. Looks like they were utilizing the choose rule out here as we see now Tanner rolling over and letting second and third place go. Put the number 1 car to 4th position.
Yeah, 25 coming off a turn 2, still gaining on the still pulling on the 71 of Brett Hahn, and his lead is now up to half a second.
Yeah, I'm watching Tanner Tallarico. This is where strategy really comes in. He doesn't have any damage on the car, and I think right now is when he's really, really going to lay back and early into this run and conserve those tires. You might want to watch that late into this run as we approach the end of the race to see if that pays off for Tanner.
Absolutely. Tanner always finding his way up there at the end of the races here, but one driver who was really happy to see that caution come out is the number 93. We saw Andrew about 11 seconds behind the leader before that caution comes out. He's now less than a second off the leader this time by at the start-finish line with 110 laps to go here.
Yeah, still quite a bit of damage to the 93, but getting those fresh tires on there made all the difference because he seems far more up to speed now than he was prior to the caution.
Yeah, absolutely. And anytime you know you have a halfway caution coming or any sort of caution coming, be it a competition caution on lap 20 or so, whatever, really it's just about keeping that car in one piece because you certainly don't want to push the tires. You certainly don't want to damage the car any more than it might already be. And that's just going to cause extra time down on pit road.
You know he was sweating bullets, though, because he came really close to having the leaders in his mirror to put him a lap down. You know that he didn't want to lose that lap, that valuable lead lap position.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's the other thing is these guys do need to make sure that they stay on the lead lap. As now it looks like maybe the 119 may have retired from tonight's event as well. Tough break for those guys, both those guys involved in that lap 1 incident in between the 93 and the 119, unfortunately. As we see Andrew hitting the wall. We need to move that wall 8 inches out for Andrew. He's hitting the same spot every lap.
He might be getting into the wall, but he also got by Brett Hahn for second and brought Tim Rogers with him as Hahn has now dropped back to 4th.
Yep, once again, he hits that wall in the same exact spot as he's now heating up the 25 car, trying to take a look for the lead down here at Southern National Motorsports Park.
That's okay, Tom. It worked out really, really well for Kyle Larson one year at Eldora. He was hitting the wall every lap, and he won the race. So.
Field single file down here on the 1 and 2 side of the speedway. Andrew Payne up about a half a lane, a little bit higher than maybe he wanted. That Tim Rogers thought maybe he was going to stick his nose down there. Thinks better of it is now Nick Fleury up half a lane. 93 taking a look on the inside out of turn number 2.
From in the wall to in the lead, look at that 93 car go. We've seen a lot of short run speed out of Andrew tonight, but can he make those tires last?
That's going to be the big question of the night. Seeing if the 93 is able to make those tires last. As now see Nick Fleury falling back into the clutches of Brett Hahn. Certainly looks like Brett's going to get around him here, although we saw Brett battle Nick really hard earlier in the opening practice run. Let's see if Nick returns that favor here.
Needs to pull down before Tanner gets to run on the inside of him, and it looks like he will before he loses all his track position. Looks like Nick will get pulled down there in the 4th spot. Now it looks like Tim Rogers is reeling in Andrew. He might look for the lead for the first time tonight.
We are under 100 laps to go here at Southern National. Field heads down here into the 17-degree embankment. Everybody working that bottom side of the speedway as we see Tim Rogers taking a look for the lead for the first time tonight.
And Andrew didn't give him much of a battle as Tim had the spot. He ducked in quickly before Brett Hahn could jump to the inside of him. And so Andrew will maintain that second position for now.
Yeah, Tim Rogers, see Coca-Cola QuickTime Media sign and design on the side of that car, and D's Lug Nuts Incorporated, where we finished first.
Most of the time.
Speaking of DLI, take a look at the 48 logos. What's that look like to you?
Looks like a nice
Tom.
looks like a nice Tallarico sign and design paint job on that 48 car. As we're going to find ourselves out of that conversation really quick as Andrew Payne now rolling back in to the number 48 car.
Hey, it's halfway. We gotta have some fun in the booth sometimes.
We're more than halfway, Sam.
Yeah, well, I don't know how to do math either, so that's 2 issues. Got 94 to go.
94 to go. Originally started with 250 on the board out here tonight. Sending it over to the YouTube chat box. What do you guys got to finish out here tonight? We said at the pre-race that really it was going to be any one of these 5 drivers that are remaining out here, and we've seen all of these drivers lead laps at some point throughout the race tonight. Gotta wonder if everybody's got the 48, if people got the 71, if people got the 1. Don't forget about Nick Fleury. Nick Fleury's led the most laps of the race so far. This could really be anybody's race.
For some reason, my YouTube chat box is not working.
It's not a full field tonight, but it is a competitive one as we see Andrew Payne now going to once again look to the inside of Tim Rogers and try to get the lead going into turn number 1. And it looks like Rogers is going to slide a bit. They're still side by side, headed into turn number 3.
Yeah, Andrew Payne now down to the inside and around the 48 car. He's got the lead back.
Yeah, these guys are teammates, but at the end of the day, everybody wants to win a race just like everybody else does, so we'll have to see how the teammate play may go. You got to wonder if that was coordinated on the team channel saying, hey, I'll let you go here.
If it comes down to it, we've seen it in the past. Teammates are not shy to use that chrome horn if it takes that to get to victory lane. So that's something else we got to keep our eye on tonight, as there are a couple of teammates in this race tonight.
Yeah, and your teammate, Bob Rogerson, already unfortunately out of the race for tonight. Bob's going to be coming home in position number 7. Christopher Daniel going to be coming home in position number 6 is on the event tonight. Andrew Payne up half his lane on the speedway. 48 on the inside making a look.
Right now, we still have 5 cars in this race. We got Andrew Payne leading, Tim Rogers in 2nd, Brett Hahn is in 3rd. 4th will belong to Nick Fleury, and in the 5th spot, we have Tanner Tallarico.
Sam, who do you like for the finish of this race? Seeing what you see now. Are you sticking with, who did you pick? Did you pick the 71? No, you picked
No,
Nick.
Yeah, I picked the 25 with Nick Fleury.
Are you still on the Fleury train?
It looks like he's got a good long run car, so he should be able to get back up there as his tires get broken in more with 82 to go, and he's still doing a great job keeping the 1 and Tanner Tallarico behind him. Either that, or I don't think Tanner has even attempted to try to pass him yet.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I think Tanner may still just be riding back there. We heard it in the pre-race when in between the heat and the feature. Tanner said the magic number was about 50 to go. That's when he was going to start turning it up into the fire burners and the afterburners, and might see another 30 laps here before we see the 1 car marching forward. But Rich, are you still on Team 71?
Absolutely. Even if Brett is saving his, or Tanner's saving his tires more so than Brett is extremely hard to get around on these super late models as we've seen in the past, winning 6 out of 8 races. I mean, you can't understate that.
Yeah, absolutely. I forget who I picked, but at this point, I'll go with Tim Rogers. Tim, my buddy, trying to get out there, get his first Cyber Thunder super late model win. The big thing out of Tim that I don't see between the 93 and maybe even Nick as well, Andrew seems to be hitting the wall on the straightaway quite a bit. No, he doesn't do it that lap, but we've seen him hitting the wall on the back straightaway coming out of turn number 2, trying to get everything out of that 93. quick time media motorsports car as much as he can. Got to wonder if that's going to help the 48 in the long run.
I know we've mentioned tires tonight, but I've noticed it looks like the 48 and the 93 seem to have a better short run cars. They seem to be out front at the initial start and on restarts, but as you get deeper into a run, then you start to see Brett and Nick be out front. We hadn't seen Tanner out front yet, but then again, I think he's been really conservative.
Well, I will tell you this. As of right now, Nick Flurry has the fastest lap out there with the 14.492.
My man Sam over there. Sam on the controls, and certainly Sam with all the stats out there tonight as we see a battle now heating up between the fastest car on the track, 40 and the 93, headed down here into turn number 1 and 2. Don't be battling for too long. That's going to open up the door for the 71 and the 25. Big slide out of turn number 2, 93. Might have gotten in the wall just a tiny bit. That's going to put Tim Rogers to the point with 70 laps to go.
Brett Hahn's going to sneak in there and still second as well, and Andrew shut the door before Nick could get to his inside.
Yeah, Andrew Payne, just like that in a matter of half a mile, going from the first place to third place. So we'll have to see if that's a strategy move or if he's able to reel back in the race leader again. All these guys at one point or another have showed a lot of strength when they're ready to go.
Yeah, I think it might be back to that that short run speed starting to fall off a little bit. As we're 50 laps into this run after the halfway caution.
Coming around this time, going to be 66 laps to go at Southern National Motorsports Park as we see a big slide on the 93 out of turn number 4. He's going to keep it out of the wall, but certainly this may take him out of contention if we do not get another caution. We saw a really long green flag run to begin with.
Yeah, I really think the super late model, I really do think the Cyber Thunder officials need a shot of adrenaline because I think they were sleeping on that incident.
Well, we're just out here calling the race, Sam, and it's good. Sometimes you get to wash your hands and walk away from it.
Yeah, it looks like maybe the tire wear starting to set in for the 93, and we're seeing Tim Rogers, the leader, starting to get really loose coming out of turn 2 as Brett Hahn has stuck his nose in there a couple of times, maybe looking out there for that lead.
.60 laps to go. It has now become a 4-car battle for the first annual Cyber Thunder Fall Brawl, presented by BladeNode.com. Out here, 250 laps at Southern National Motorsports Park. Tim Rogers currently leads over Brett Hahn by 2 car lanes. Now you got to take another 15 car lanes back between the 1 and the 25. 50 laps to go is what Tanner told us before, as Tanner may start to put a little bit of pressure here on Nick.
Still about 10 laps away from that magic number for Tanner Tallarico, so I'll be curious once lap 200 rolls around to see how aggressive he's going to be and if he steps it up a notch.
Yeah, and you heard it before. He said, I think he said he would use the chrome horn. Is that what he said?
That's what I heard.
That's what I heard too. I don't remember it, but that's what I heard.
After Thursday night's Blade Node Cup race, I don't think he's very shy about using that chrome horn at all. But, I mean, this race is called the Fall Brawl, so it's been pretty civil so far, but I wouldn't be surprised if you see these guys out here wrestle around for the lead a little bit. This race is ticking by. We're getting down to crunch time here pretty soon.
It is once again going on board here with the number 1 Pro Coat Chevy Camaro down here into turn number 1, taking a look at the J angle. Car driven by Nick Flurry directly in front of him. really difficult to see out of these cars, so we're going to have to see if maybe Tanner just closes his eyes and puts a bumper to him. As we see, he's really being gentle on the corner exits over here.
Yeah, you see him take like a late and high entry into the turns. He's trying to get a run to dive up underneath Nick and have corner off speed.
Great looking cars all over the speedway tonight. Always great to see these cars underneath the lights, and really Nick in the wall. He continues on.
Nick in the wall. Jesus. Can these guys ever stay out of the wall?
I know I can't. I was on the wall Thursday night.
Well,
There's-
Andrew Payne, he's been in the wall, and he got into the wall again across the start finish line. And but I don't know if that's making him any faster. But he did lead 32 laps while he was getting into the wall every time.
Put 50 laps to go on the board this time by 50 laps to go at Southern National Motorsports Park. We're gonna have to see if Tanner holds true to that number and maybe starts to find his way up towards the front as Tim Rogers continues to lead over Brett Hahn by about 2 car lengths or so, headed down into 3 and 4.
I think 200 might have been the magic number for Brett Hahn, as well as he really put the pressure on Tim Rogers for a couple of laps there. And so, again, Tim Rogers is going to get super loose coming out of turn number 2.
Yeah, the 71 of Brett Hahn is working on getting around him. 48 of Tim Rogers ain't going to make it easy on him. We got 48 to go. 47 at the line.
.47 laps ago, you're watching the best battle on the track between the 71 and the 48. Tim continuing to get loose on the exit of the corners. Got to make sure he doesn't heat up that right rear tire. If he does, it's going to make for a long last 40 laps of the feature here for the 48 car.
I think we're past heated it up. I think it's on fire right now, the way that 48 machine is sliding around coming out of the turns.
Well, 46 laps to go now, and Tanner is now starting to put a little bit of heat on the number 25 car. Saw him with a little bit of a look out of turn number 4 last time. Wasn't able to get a good exit. Nick got a better run out of 4. Headed down the front stretch. Tanner now 2 car lengths behind the 25.
Still over 40 laps to go, but as you said, these laps took away pretty quick. So Tanner doesn't want to spend too much time if he wants to have a shot at the win at getting around this 25 car, Nick Fleury.
Yeah, 15 seconds a lap around here. This race is going to be over in a flurry.
I like how you did that.
I don't think Nick will like it too much. I don't know. I guess we'll ask him after the race.
I have a feeling we'll be talking to Nick after the race. I have a feeling we're going to be talking to everybody after the race here in about another 15, 20 minutes or so. As we see now the battle once again for the lead starting to heat up. Andrew Payne coming into camera view in danger of going 1 lap down here. Little short track here, so he's got to stay on the lead lap here. If there is another caution, you need to be on that lead lap to really capitalize and still have a chance at it.
Yeah, Tom, I'm watching the battle for third right now. I'm really intrigued by the line that Tanner's running. It's like he's entering the corner super high to get that crossover run on corner exit, and he's really putting the pressure on Nick Fleury right now. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a change for third here in the next few laps.
Yeah, and one thing that I'm taking a look here is seeing that Tanner is now taking that big late entry like you're saying, but we're also seeing him starting to slide on the exit of the corners a little bit more than he was 10 laps ago. As he's big run down the backstretch, quarter door contact out of turn number 4, put Tanner Tallarico up to P number 3. He's got 36 laps to go and try and run down the race leaders here.
Yeah, if Tanner's going to win this race, that was crucial for him to get by. It looks like the 93 might be really, really loose. I thought he went around, but it looks like he staved it up.
Yeah, and
I think he's doing that on purpose. I think he's just dirt tracking it around now.
Hopefully he will be careful around these lead lap cars here. Looks like both Nick and Tanner will get by him successfully.
Tanner Tallarico checking out by about a half second over Nick Fleury here, with now 34 laps to go this time by. We're going to have to see 2.3 seconds at the line this time by. We're going to have to start to see if he can start to reel these guys in. 71 and the 48. If these guys start to get to racing, that's what Tanner's looking for, seeing if he can come in through an open opportunity if these guys start racing.
And Tom, that late entry that Tanner was taking, it now looks like Brett Hahn in the 71 tried that a few laps on Tim Rogers to try to poke that nose in there for the lead. And looks like Tanner Tallarico is going to be close to about 3 seconds behind the first and second place cars. So we'll have to keep our eye and see if that gap closes while the battle for the lead picks up.
Inside of 30 laps to go here at the Cyber Thunder Fall Brawl, presented by BladeNode.com. Big slide by the 48. Not going to give the 71 an opening, but we'll allow him to close in just a tiny bit. You know, you do.
Whoa!
Anything that he just gained there, he just gave right back.
Absolutely, and don't look now, but Tanner just gained 0.6 of a second the past couple of laps. So you saw a huge slide from the 48 and the 71. That's exactly what Tallarico wants to see right now.
It certainly is, and don't necessarily count out the number 25 car. Nick always finds his way up towards the front of the field at the end of these races, and he's certainly still within contention, as it looks like the 93 car is now on pit road.
Yeah, that car was very, very loose the past few laps. I don't know if he had a tire going down or if he just needed to get a break for a few laps, because that 93 machine did look like a very, very big handful the past couple of laps.
Well, Sam, Rich, do you guys think that Brett will be able to... If Brett's going to go, he's got to go now, because Tanner is closing on that gap every single lap. You think Brett tries to maybe make a move on the outside, or maybe put a bumper to the number 48? Or what happens here?
Well, Brett's a pretty clean race car driver. I don't think he's going to put the bumper into him until he absolutely has to. But you're right, Tanner is definitely closing in. So I don't think the 71's going to wait too much longer to make his move, as we see him taking that late entry trying to get a run on a corner off.
Tanner Tallarico about 3 seconds back a couple laps ago, now within a second and a half. So with 20 laps to go, these laps are going to click off quickly. Let's try saying that again. The time is now. Brett cannot wait any longer if he wants to have a chance without really fighting the number 1 car for the victory tonight. He's got to go now.
Yeah, if I'm Tim Rogers, I'm going to make that 48 car as wide as I can. But if he does that, he has to realize that there's a shot that the 71, or if Tanner gets by him, that he could get that old chrome horn here in the closing laps. It's crunch time. 20 laps to go this time by.
Out of turn number 4, big slide by the 71. Big slide by the 48 heading down here into turn number 1. This is going to open up the door for the 71. Maybe allow Brett to come down here and maybe try to make a position. But Tanner Tallarico is now within a half a second of the race leader.
He's not within half a second. He's there. He is absolutely there. He is on the back bumper of the 71 car now, and there's no more saving tires at this point. It's all out, full throttle.
Oh, to be a fly on the wall at the end of this race. I'd love to see how this is going to pan out. You're going to watch it live here on the Cyber Thunder Broadcasting Network the next 17 laps here to see who comes away with the big hardware on the night between the 48, 71, and the 1. Maybe Nick Fleury. Maybe these guys all trash each other, and Nick Fleury comes home with the win. But Brett Hahn.
Brett Hahn to the lead here. I was thinking the same thing, Tom. You beat me to it. These three get to racing hard, and I've raced with all three of them, and they are very aggressive drivers, especially towards the end of the race. And so Nick Fleury could definitely be sitting in the catbird seat right now.
Yeah, now with 16 laps to go, I can't imagine that Tim's going to roll over for Tanner. But Tim's got to know that he does not have the tires that the one car does, and can't imagine that Tanner's going to wait too long to try to make a move as we see him go into the bottom shelf of the speedway this time by.
Yeah, tires went away for the 48 of Tim Rogers really quickly there on the span of a few laps as he's now down to third. And it's going to be that classic battle, the 71 versus the 1. So we'll see if Tanner can reel in Brett here with about, looks like 12 laps to go coming up.
Coming down here into turn number 3, live at you down here from Southern National Motorsports Park. Tanner Tallarico within 5 car lengths of the race leader this time by. 13 laps to go. Can he get there? I think that's definitely a yes. Can he get around him? That might be a different story. Seems like the only way to get around anybody is on the bottom. We'll have to see if he uses that chrome horn like he said he would.
I'm about to have flashbacks. 4 months ago.
Oh, I'm having flashbacks from 2 nights ago. That was one hell of a finish we had at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and you have to wonder if Tanner's going to be apprehensive about using the chrome horn on Brett after that side-by-side photo finish we had on Thursday night in the Cup cars.
Quick update on the number 48 car. Number 48 car really falling off here. Unfortunate for him, but he's currently now about 2 seconds behind the race leaders. Tires on the number 48 car just not cooperating with them right now, but certainly looks like tires are cooperating on the number 1 car. So we now have less than 10 laps to go at the line.
9 to go this time by, and there is no more gap between the leader. Tanner is there, and I believe it was like a 1/10 of a second between them the last time around as we're approaching 8 to go.
8 to go at the line. Brett Hahn still your leader. Tanner Tallarico close behind. And you got to ask yourself now, do you try the old bump and run technique, or do you try to pass them clean on the inside?
Bump them. That's what I do.
Me too. I'm not wasting any time. If I'm this close with inside 10 laps to go, I'm not wasting any time getting around the leader, because you don't know how much he's being conservative or how much his tires have fallen off, as now we're at 6 laps to go.
Taking a look out back from the number 71 car, you got a mirror full of that Pro Coat powder coating Chevy Camaro headed down here into turn number 1 and 2 with 5 laps to go. Brett Hahn and Tanner Tallarico throw a blanket over him coming out of turn number 2.
Under 5 laps to go here, and Tanner is all over him. I think we're all just waiting to see what kind of move he's going to make and when does he make it.
Yeah, it looks like he's setting up for it, coming up to the line. 3 to go. 3 to go.
This is as close as we've seen it. He is right there on the bumper of Brett Hahn now on the backstretch.
Yeah, he's getting there. He's getting there. What you gonna do, Mr. Tallarico?
Well, loose out of 4. That's going to give him about a gap. Brett, about a gap in between him, maybe half a car length.
Yeah, last Brett Hahn coming into turn 3 for second to final time, coming across the line. White flag in the air.
Blade node 1 to go.
Race leader with Tanner Tallarico close behind.
BladeNode.com. White flag out in the air. Brett Hahn with a 2-car length lead over the number 1 car. Out of turn number 4. Big slide by both of them. Everybody heating up the tires at the start-finish line. Brett Hahn going to be your big winner on the night.
The Blue Bullet Brett the Jet Hahn, the reigning super late model champion of Cyber Thunder, is going to get another win again tonight.
Absolutely. As we see Brett coming around here, I have a feeling he's going to burn these tires down as he gets a little bit of a congratulatory bump from the number 48 car. 25 car comes by to wave, as well as the 93. Don't go anywhere. We're going to get your entire, it's all family out here tonight. We're going to get your entire field live in the Cyber Thunder post-race show.
Representatives are currently busy. Please stay on the line, and your call will be answered by the next available representative. The estimated hold time is currently less than 96 minutes. You are currently caller number 32.
Are you tired of getting blown out of the water by other web hosting solutions? At bladenode.com, our affordable web hosting and quick customer support is our #1 priority. Bladenode Web Hosting was started with a mission to provide premium hosting at half the price as other hosts without sacrificing features, reliability, and 24/7 customer support with a live technician. Join our community today by visiting bladenode.com and using promo code BLADE10 for 10% off your first package.
Andrew?
All right, live back here at the Cyber Thunder Broadcast Network from Southern National Motorsports Park. We've caught up with the driver of the number 93.
Yeah, I'm here with Andrew Payne. Andrew, we saw you set the fast qualifying lap, and you led a lot of laps tonight, but it looked like you had quite a few incidences with the wall and coming out of turn 2. How was your race, and how are the tires at the end?
The tires were pretty much gone there. I pushed way too hard there at the beginning, and from there it was just kind of, as you guys could probably tell, was just kind of hang on to it and hope I don't wreck anyone or don't wreck myself. And for the most part, I think I did a good job at not doing any of that. But man, what a blast! That was some of the most fun racing I've had in a long time. Even though I finished 5th. But I mean, it was still really fun, and this was a good race overall.
Absolutely. It seemed like you and Tim Rogers had short run speed while Brett and Tanner had the long run speed, but it was really entertaining watching you tonight. Do you have any sponsors, any friends, any family you'd like to thank tonight?
Well, I'd like to thank Tanner and everyone at Cyber for putting this on. QuickTime for sponsoring the car. My parents and grandparents for supporting me in racing and everything. And, got to thank Bladenode for sponsoring all many events, especially the Pro Cup Series this season. And looking forward to some more.
All right. Thank you, Andrew. And I understand that Sam has also caught up with one of our finishers for tonight.
Yeah, I'm down here. I'm down here with the 48 of Tim Rogers. Tim, I saw you running around there. What? Yeah. Tell me about your race.
Well, car handled pretty good. It was nice and free how I like it. It was really loose entering the corner, and on exit it was really loose. It was mostly trying to save your rear tire the whole race, and of course I failed at that. Towards the end of the race there, I was spinning my tires down the back stretch loose, and then me spinning my tires, I was hitting the chip, and then I ultimately ran out of gas because of that. So I had to pit with like 3 laps to go. I lost 3rd place because of that.
Oh, so these cars do have a limit.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's good to know. I saw you battling a couple times with the one at Tallarico earlier in the race. Were y'all just riding together, or was he trying to get around you?
Well, I know definitely Tanner was saving tire in the back there, and then I was up front sometimes. I was like, I kind of want to save tire too, so I would drop to the back, and Tanner would be there, and then I would get impatient again, and I'd try to pass him, so we'd end up battling.
All right, yeah. 4th place for the 48 of Tim Rogers. I'm gonna give you the microphone one more time. You thank whoever you like to thank.
Well, first, I would like to thank my team, Diesel Up Nuts Incorporated, Tanner, Tom, Andrew. They always help me, they always help me with my driving, help me become a better driver. Also like to thank Nick and Brett. They're not my teammates, but I always ask them for tips as well. And like to thank you guys for coming out here and broadcasting this. I hope it was fun to watch. And yeah, that's it.
Tim, you let me down. You were my pick.
Well, you shouldn't have picked me. No one ever picks me.
Well, Nick Fleury let me down, and I lost money on him. So Tom, I'm gonna let you. Tim, I'm gonna let you go, and we're gonna send it over to Tom, who is actually down there with Nick Fleury, and I'm just gonna step away for a moment so I don't deck him.
All right, and we're catching up now with the driver, the number 25 Chevy Camaro out there tonight, Mr. Nick Fleury, coming home in a P3 podium finish. Nick, we saw you leading a lot of laps early. You're coming home in P3 tonight. Tell us about your race.
I'm exhausted. I'm dead.
I remember those.
Those are long races. Oof. I had a good run in the first half. I was just biding my time, letting them use up their tires, and then I'd come up and get in the lead. Tried to do the same for the second half of the race, but when you do that, it's hard to catch back up.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially once you heat up that right rear tire. Not something I've really mastered just yet. I've been taking lessons from Brett. I've been taking lessons from Tanner and Tim and Andrew and really the entire crew around here at the Cyber Thunder Racing League. There you go. Taking some tips from these guys because they have certainly figured it out. But you're coming home P3 tonight. We're going to give you the floor for anybody you'd like to thank or sponsors you'd like to acknowledge. The floor is yours, my friend.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank my sponsors, CPM Incorporated and J Angle Home Improvement, and then my teammates here and Tanner for putting on such a great race. It's so much fun. And then lastly, of course, my lovely wife.
All right. Well, Nick, congratulations on your P3 finish out here tonight at the first annual Cyber Thunder Fall Brawl presented by BladeNode.com. We're going to let you go ahead and get a drink, get rehydrated. Congratulations again on a third place finish, as it appears that Rich has caught up.
That's right, Tom. I'm here with Tanner Tallarico, who finished in second position tonight. Tanner, it looked like you were saving your tires for a large portion of the race, and you came alive with about 50 to go. You said your magic number was 50 to go, and you really started to push then, and you caught Brett, but you couldn't quite work your way around him there at the end.
Yeah, thank you. First and foremost, thank you guys for putting this on. But yeah, when we threw a competition caution there, just with how many cars we had, figured it would be good to bunch everybody back up and kind of get show number 2 going, if you will. And I was busy waving people around, and I came down pit road, and everybody else came down and took their full set of tires, and I only took rights. So I was just not thinking. It was not a bright move on my part by any means, but nonetheless, that was a really good time. I hope we put on a good show for you guys, even if we had a limited amount of cars. We were all going pretty hard there, and it seemed like we were never really pulling away from one another. So I think that says good things about the upcoming Super Late Model Series and really just the league in general. I think we got a good thing going on here from a competition standpoint, and looking forward to when the Supers roll around for the regular season.
A lot of slipping and sliding out there tonight, and you guys did put on a great show. So thanks for taking the time to talk with us, Tanner. Do you have any sponsors, any family friends you'd like to thank?
Oh yeah, absolutely. First thing I want to do is thank the drivers that came out here tonight to put this show on. It was a race, but there's kind of a bigger meaning and a bigger purpose behind this whole thing tonight, with getting the message out there about the Supers coming back in January, and just a little more promotional stuff for the Cyber Thunder Broadcast Network. I know we're still kind of new at this and wet behind the ears, but it's good to bring some more people in. So Sam and Rich, thank you guys for coming in here. I know this was really your first time with the Cyber Thunder booth, but I'm sure you guys did a great job. And I do want to say thanks to ProCoat for coming on board. Like I said earlier as well, this is kind of completely new to them. They're just partnered with me on Thursdays, so they're not really used to the whole short track thing. But I'm sure they'll be watching this back here in the coming days, if not sometime next week. But yeah, and then of course you guys for putting this on. It was a good time.
And that Pro Coat car looks very sharp on the racetrack. Thanks for joining us, Tanner.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
And Tom, I hear that you have caught up with tonight's winner, the driver of the 71 car, Brett Hahn.
Yeah,
How's it going up here, guys, in the booth?
We certainly have caught up with the big winner tonight, Mr. Brett the Jet, the blue bullet. I've run out of words to use tonight. Brett, congratulations on your big win out here tonight. The first annual Cyber Thunder Fall Brawl. You're going to add your name to the winners of Southern National Motorsports Park Thanksgiving Classic. You're joining names like Scott Riggs and Denny Hamlin. How does that feel tonight?
Oh man, I tell you what, that's pretty awesome to hear my name alongside of theirs. This was a long race, I'll tell you what. It was a stressful one there towards the end. We had a bunch of fun running with everyone that came out here, but in the end, we got it done and held off a hard charge Tanner Talarico.
Yeah, so we saw with probably about 30 laps to go or so, you took a look up in your mirror and you saw that number 1 Pro Coat car coming in a hurry. But you're also looking at the windshield and you see the 48 car in front of you. At what point did you think, okay, I got to get around Tim, because if I don't, Tanner's going to get up here and steal from both of us?
Yeah, as soon as he was like 3 cars back or about 5, I was like, man, I got to go because I know Tanner and he'll set us both up and pass us in one corner. So I'm like, oh man, we got to go. And Tim made a mistake, lit him up pretty good coming off of 4. I lit him up right with him, but it was enough to keep the momentum and get around him, and tried to check out as best as I could while Tanner was getting around him.
And Brett, was Charlotte playing in your mind at all? Did you think Tanner was maybe going to give you a little bit of extra slack based on how the Charlotte race went? You guys obviously came across the line side by side, door to door, and a little bit of contact at the line. You think that had any sort of indication as to how he raced you at the end here?
Maybe. I was definitely watching my mirror those last 3 laps looking for him to dive it in there. Luckily, on the last lap, I think he got loose off of 4 or something and really lost some ground on me, so I was at least taking a deep breath once I saw that he lost some ground and couldn't hopefully bump me out of the way.
All right, well, Brett, congratulations once again as we take a look at the Talarico sign and design. Blue Bullet coming out of turn number 4 here at Southern National Motorsports Park. Brett, as we're grown accustomed to, we're going to go ahead and give you the floor to acknowledge any sponsors, friends, family, coworkers, anybody out there watching the number 71 go to victory lane tonight.
All right, thanks, Tom. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. You, Tom, Sam, and Richard for coming out here, calling this race. I'd like to thank all my buddies down there out on the track with me. We had a bunch of fun. We had a radio communication with each other, and at one point, we're all cracking up, all about to wreck. So I want to give a big thanks to them. Big thanks to all friends and family out there watching. My grandparents, dad, mom, brother, sister, my girlfriend who gave me some water in the middle of the race.
Well, congratulations once again, Brett. We're going to kick you out of here. We're going to let you go.
Congratulations.
Celebrate with the rest of the drivers that are out here tonight. We'll be down there in a few minutes to celebrate with you down here in Victory Lane. But once again, congratulations to Brett Hahn, the big winner at the first annual Cyber Thunder Fall Brawl, presented by BladeNode.com.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, and that's going to do it. Live from the Southern National Motorsports Park tonight, Brett Hahn coming home with the big hardware tonight, coming home with the Angel trophy with one finger sticking up, and I'll let you guess which one that is. There's a story behind that. Go ask Tanner. Brett Hahn coming home with the big win tonight. Following him, the number 1 of Tanner Talarico, Nick Fleury, coming home in P3.
Tim Rogers will finish in the 4th position, and Andrew Payne will round out the top 5. They were he was the final car to finish the race. Out of the race, we had the 119 of Christopher Daniel in 6th, and the 78 of Bob Rogerson finishing in 7th, rounding out the field.
All right, and not sure if Sam's back. Sam, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. I just had to punch a hole in the wall.
All right. Well, Sam, why don't you bring us home 6th through 9th here?
6th through 9th. 6th through 9th, we got. Hang on, I gotta. 6th through 9th, we got Christopher Daniels in the 119, coming home 6th. Robert Rogerson in the 78, coming home 7th. 8th place finisher Michael Witt in the 26th, and 9th Kyle Ely in the 07.
All right, well, that's going to about wrap us up here. Fans filing out of the Southern National Motorsports Park. Rich, Sam, what's your takeaways from tonight's Fall Brawl presented by BladeNode.com?
Brett Hahn is really good.
That's one takeaway to take.
Never bet on Nick Fleury.
Never bet on Nick Fleury. All right. Well, I'll add both of those to my notes. I'm sure Brett's going to be a strong competitor once the Super Late Models Series does come back in January. It's going to be about a 12-week season. Certainly imagine that he's going to wind up in victory lane once or twice or 3 times over the course of that season. But, guys, it was an absolute pleasure doing this out here tonight. I want to thank you guys for spending the night out here with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me. My debut in the booth. I had a blast up here. I got to call more of these races. It was so much fun. I'm sweating just as much as I do when I race in them. So.
Yeah, it was great.
All right. Well, for Sam, for Richard, for Tanner, for Nick, for Tim, for Andrew, for Brett, the big winner tonight, we're going to close out tonight's race here from Southern National Motorsports Park. Good night.
Representatives are currently busy. Please stay on the line, and your call will be answered by the next available representative. The estimated hold time is currently less than 96 minutes. You are currently caller number 32.
Are you tired of getting blown out of the water by other web hosting solutions? At BladeNode.com, our affordable web hosting and quick customer support is our #1 priority. BladeNode Web Hosting was started with a mission to provide premium hosting at half the price as other hosts without sacrificing features, reliability, and 24/7 customer support with a live technician. Join our community today by visiting BladeNode.com and using promo code BLADE10 for 10% off your first package.